I think people get hangover from Halloween. Yeah. Okay. We have Lab7 today. Lab7 it's relatively easy. It's just we're gonna make some association. We're gonna learn about what is association and what is a relationship class and what is relates in the ArcGIS. So okay. So I'm gonna introduce some concepts of association and also the domain and subtype for additional optional lab 2, and then go over the lab. Okay, so association is the concept that includes join and relates and also relationship class. So association can be established between shapefiles and tables. So and I'm sure that you already know what is join, because we already have gone over about join in left, right, and outer and inner. And there's another concept which is relates. So both join and relates combine with attributes, which is columns, using key columns and foreign columns. And join is the fields. Join is that the fields from the target table are appended to the fields of the origin table, right? And then you can make the results one table that is combined, right? But when you use a relate, we express it add relates to one table, and then connected to tables remain separate. Okay, when you add the relates, so that's the difference between join and relates. Okay, so then I'm going to show you what is relates later in this lab. And then there's a relationship class. So relationship class exists as an object in the geodatabase. So relates actually is a function in ArcGIS software. So when you add relates to one table, then it does not retain permanently. So the relates will be removed when you close the ArcPro. But if you make a relationship class between two geodatabases, then the relationship will be lingering even you close the ArcPro. Okay, so it stores the connection information, primary key, foreign key, and connectivity information and integrity rule if you're set. And then, okay, so difference between relates and relationship class is that. So relates is temporal association in ArcGIS, but relationship class is the permanent association. So I'm going to show you how to make the relationship class and how to make the relates, and then show what's the difference in this lab. Okay. So here's the example of join. So I think you all know about what is join, right? So if you have a parcels and land use data, and then there should be like two, the key columns in parcels and foreign columns in land use, which are land use ID and here land use ID too, right? And if you join the two tables, then the result table will be one table, right? It's combined table, and then it shows columns from both tables, right? This parcel ID from parcels and this LU from land use, right? Okay. But when you add relates one table, then for example, if you have a coffee as an origin table, which has the cafe ID and cafe name, and the person's owner information table that has each cafe ID and each owner of this cafe. If you add relates, then to the coffee, then still the two tables remain separate, right? But you can actually navigate when you make a relates between the two tables, and if you select these rows, which is ID number 7, then you can also identify, you can highlight those two rows that is related to this row. Okay, but if those two tables still remain separate. So I'm going to show you relates later in the ArcPro. And then relationship class is the same. And when you make the relationship class are actually made in geodatabase like this. So there is a block groups, data, and census data, and if you make the relationship class between that, then the relationship class will be made in the same geodatabase and stored like this way, right? So just keep in mind that the joins and release, you can make it in Arc software, and it's temporal, and relationship class is like permanent. Yeah, that's the difference. Okay. Okay, and then here is the example of relationship class, but when the two shapefiles or two tables choose the end-to-end relationship, end-to-end cardinality. So if there is a end-to-end relationship, end-to-end cardinality, you need the link table, right? So this is what we already went over. So if you want to make a relationship class between the two tables that have end-to-end relation cardinality, then you need to have the link table. And then you need to make the two relationship class between them, which is 1 to m and also 1 to m, right? So for example, you have parcels and owner data, right? And if there is a parcels ID and owners, so several parcels are owned by one owner or vice versa, right? So one parcel could be owned by several owners, right? So that's why you need a link table that has linked those two tables, and then you need to make two relationship classes between each. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to make it later in this class too. Okay. Okay. So so we quickly briefly went over the joins and release, and what is the difference between join and release, and what is the difference between the join and release and relationship class. Okay. Just make sure that the joins and relates. The difference between join and release is that the join, the result of the join will be the appended table. The results of release are the just release, but the table that linked by release still remains separate. And relationship and then the difference between join release and relationship class is that the join release actually a temporal link between the table, but relationship class is permanent. Okay. All right. And then for those who do the optional Lab2, I'm going to go over what's the concept of the domain system. Okay. Okay. So this concept, this instruction is about optional Lab2. Okay. So domains is a concept in ArcGIS when you make or edit the tables. The domains defines the legal values of the field. So it's like a rule. So So the domains defines the legal values, which means that, for example, if you set up the the range of some numerical value, then you can only put that the value within that range like this. If you set up the speed limit, then when you add it or when you add the values in that certain selected columns, then you can only add the values between 15 to 80 which you set up, right? And also, if you set up the certain not range or certain value, then you can only put that values in that selected column. Okay. So in ArcGIS, some general domain features captures in the table and field definition. You can find it in the geodatabase or also in ArcGIS software like ArcMap or ArcPro. Okay, but the legal field values themselves can be specified by creating a domain geodatabase. So you can set up the domain in geodatabase too. but it's this is legal field values. Oh yeah. Anyway. Okay, so this is the example, the screenshot of the how to set up domain. So like this. So if you have a park polygons, and here's the name of the columns that you select, which is park type. Okay, so you select the park type, and you want to add the domain to the park type. Okay, and you can set the allow null values, and you set a net yes, and then here's you can set up the domain. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, here. So the right side, you can name the domain. You can make up the name of the domain, which is the parts, right? And then you set up the domain type as quoted values. If you select the quoted values, then you can specify the several values that user only can can add. So if you set a general park and facility park and country yard as a coded values, then the user only can add those three parts in that park type column. Okay, and there's the another policy, which is split policy and merge policy. So if you choose this split policy, then the numerical value of second column will be split to the area based on the proportion of the split area. So it means that if you have a 10 square meter area, and if you split half, then the numerical value of 10 will be split to 5 and 5, respectively, if you split it. Okay, and merge value is also the same. If you merge that two area, then the numerical value of the selected column will be 10. Okay, good. Yeah, and this is so many screenshot, and so yeah, you can just hit this right side. So if once you apply the domain to this park type columns, then the only values that you can add here will be general facility courtyard, right? Courtyard, yeah, that you set up as a coded values. Okay, yeah, like this. We're given a list legal values and cannot enter anything else but those three. Okay, and then it helps maintain the data integrity. Okay, so domain and subtype actually help maintain data integrity. And I'm gonna show you what is subtypes. Okay, do you have any questions so far? Okay. Am I too fast? No. Good. Yeah. So what is subtypes? I think you all know about subtypes because we learn what is subtype in relational databases, right? So subtypes like so there is a supertype, for example. There's a park, spatial data, and then if you want to set two subtypes, then in relational database, then you need to make two tables, right? So each subtype is a table, right? So first subtype, if you set a first subtype courtyard park, and second subtype specific park, then in relational database, each subtype has the columns, each column, because it is regarded as the table, right? Its own table. So you need to specify relations like this. Courtyard park relation, which is subtype here, has building columns and park ID columns. And the specific park has ID columns and also the ID columns, right? But so this is subtype in relational database, but in ArcGIS it's a little bit different. So in ArcGIS, compared to relational database, difference like this way. So in a geodatabase in ArcGIS, a subtype refers to predefined categories of features that exist in the same table. So it's not a separate table. Okay, so subtype is actually a separate table, right? Because in a park table, the courtyard part and facility part is in a separate table, right? But in ArcGIS, it's like this is regarded as columns, right, in the same table. So the subtype is predefined values for multiple attributes. So if you have the streets table, and if you set up the subtype of interstate and residential street, then rather than making the separate subtype, which is table, in ArcGIS, you the subtype is regarded as those columns, speed limits and lengths and capacity. So if you predefine these columns for the interstate, then when you add the interstate and street one column in streets, then those three columns will be added automatically, right? As a 654 and 100,000. Okay. So yeah, we can express this when we define a street feature as an interstate, then these fields of the speed limit, lanes, and capacity will populate with these default values that you set up. Okay, so this is difference between the subtype in ArcGIS and subtype in the relational database. Okay, good. So this is about optional lab 2, but I'm not sure this will be in an exam. I don't know, but just make sure that just one thing you make your keep in your mind is the difference between what is that the subtype in relational database actually it's a separate table, but in ArcGIS is columns and table. Okay. Okay, so here's the Lab 7 instruction. So Lab 7, we were gonna make a relationship class. Where is it? Yeah, relationship class, and then also we're gonna add relates in our Pro. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So when you go to Canvas in Lab 7, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 8 data sets. So 5 feature class and 3 tables. Okay. And then just please open the Arc Pro. And then add those tables to your add the add the data set into your table of contents first.
So this one's being done in Arc Pro, not in the
not PGSMIN, yeah. So Lab 7 is yeah. Yeah, you can use ArcGIS Pro for 7. Okay. Okay, so before we go over this lab, do you have a question? Lab 6 or lab 5 or you have a question, right?
I do, but I'll
okay. Okay. So there are 3 parts, but each part actually consists of the questions. So you need to answer the question, and that's all. Of course, you need to get provide some screenshots, and there's no code, but you need to provide screenshot and explain an answer of each question in your deliverable. Okay, we have 10 questions about relationship class and relates. So I'm not going to go over everything, but I'm going to just briefly go over how to make relationship class and how to add the relates, not just for okay, to answer all the question. Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna wait here for you to download all the data and then add link of the repository in Arc Pro. So you guys open the Arc Pro and download all the data? Yes. see the structure in class. Yeah. Let's mention the following program.
I was trying to do the first one. The Utah. That's like the first here.
Oh, okay.
So I can't even get this to me.
Yeah, so now. Yeah, so. I think you or just delete it from the.
And then we do it. Because when I did it, it's only. Yes. That's step 3.
So, so we need.
This is the check, and then go down, then this is the change. So I changed all of this. Either correct, this is the correct.
Yeah. Then me too. You don't have to make every. You don't have to. And then you don't have to.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's what I asked you from the last time when we were doing this, make sure that they're all the same.
Yeah.
Everything too.
Yeah, also this, but sometimes when you transform or reduce it, yeah.
Got it, thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think you already have all the tables. Okay. So you need to link the the repository where you save the data first in a catalog here, catalog pane, right? The first thing is I'm gonna make the relationship class between cities and parks. Okay. Cities and parks. So here I have 8 data sets right here that I downloaded. And then to make a relationship class, we need to make a geodatabase first, right? So right click this folder where you want to add the geodatabase, and then click new, and here click the file geodatabase to make this geodatabase. And then name it. I'm gonna name it just okay. And now I made a empty geodatabase. I'm gonna add all the data set will download it to this GDB. Okay. To actually make it, you need to import the all the feature set classes and the tables, right? So right-click the import, and there's a feature classes, and when you click it, there's a new the tools will be shown up, and then in features will be you need to find the data sets you download. Okay. Here, and then if you explore if you find navigate to the repository where you download the data, then you can find that there's just five feature classes, right? And then add those 5, and then click run to add those 5 feature classes to your geodatabase. Okay. And yeah. Okay. And then you also need to add the what is that? The table too, right? Let's go back to catalog, and please go to import and click table to add the tables. And just the same thing. You need to find like 5 tables here, right? There's a DBA file, 3 DBA files, which is table, and then add those 3 tables to store those 3s into geodatabase. Okay. All right. When you add it, then go to catalog and refresh your geodatabase. Okay, here, and then you find the 8 data sets are inside of this now, right? Okay, so I'm gonna make where is that? Relationship class between cities and parks. Okay, so before that, I'm gonna add the cities, parks in the canvas. So here, okay, give me a second. Yeah, so here the cities, we have 2 cities, and then several parks inside the cities, right? Okay, so how to make relationship class? Let's right click the no, just before that we need to check the primary key and foreign key, right? So okay, let's see these here. So cities with the primary, we need to make a relationship class with the primary key of a name. Oh no, and then city is origin, and the park is the destination, which is target shapefile with the foreign key of the cities. Okay. Yeah. So cities origin. So we have 2 cities feature. So we have a name, right? Soda Springs and Vista. And if you go to park, and there should be a city column that has also the city name. So this is a foreign key, right? Okay, so let's right click on the geodatabase, and then go to new, and there's relationship class, right? To make relationship class. So here, yeah, click the relationship class here. So right click the geodatabase file and new and relationship class. Then you'll also see the this additional tool. So origin table will be cities, right? Yeah, cities. And destination table will be parks, right? And then output relationship class name will be automatically set up, so you don't have to name it. So yeah, so origin relationship class name is cities, parks, right? And then relationship type is, sorry? Yeah, it's automatically set, generated. Oh. Yeah, then you need to just you can just name it. It depends on the actual Pro version, I guess. So you can name cities parks or city park relationship, like whatever you want. Okay. And relationship type is simple. So because we have a one primary key, right? We don't have a composite key, right? And then forward pass level and backward pass level, you don't have to set up anything because it's just a label. But here's a message direction. So now the default is none, right? But if you set up the message direction as a forward, then it's like this. So when you delete the one column of the cities, then the rows in the park will be deleted as well. If you set a forward, but if you set a backward, it's the direction will be backward. So if you delete the rows in the park, then the related rows in the cities also deleted. Okay, and then if you both directions, then it happens in both directions. Okay. And cardinality is 1 to m, right? Because one city has several parts. So yeah, cardinality is 1 to m, and okay. And there's many to many, but this is really like complicated to make many to many if you don't have a link table. Anyway, yeah. So 1 to m, and then origin primary key will be name, and foreign key will be the city in the part columns, right? So both two columns have the name of the cities, right? Okay, and then run. Oh, really?
Still has an issue with the output relationship file.
Really?
Did you add everything you did with the geog database and then remove it?
Oh, yeah.
One of the roles and ensure that you save you would do. Oh, yeah.
Inside of
Say what?
inside, yeah, inside of same. Oh, I think. Maybe because the data set here. So did you add this shapefile from just shapefile back from the database? Yeah. Oh, that's yeah, that's. Oh, I had first. No, it means that you put shape files from another repository. So here, yeah, okay. Here, yeah. Okay, so yes. So we made the relationship class, right? If you refresh the database, then there should be new symbol of the relationship class here, and then the relationship class feature here. So name, cities, parts, right? So okay, and if you right click and go to properties, then you can check the primary key and foreign key here, right? And then what is the just some information of relationship class, right? Okay, so how it works? Let me show you why the relationship class is how the relationship class works. So let's just click the two parts here. Okay, let's see. We have a two part, right? Just two parts, and I want to see the what is related cities with these two parts. And then if you choose these two parts and then go to data, and then here's a related data here, right? Yeah, so related data, and if you choose it, and there's the cities features too here shown up, right? So if you check the cities, the click cities, then the system is going to highlight the cities that is related to these two parts, right? So it means that those two features are related, right? So this is how the relationship class works. So you can easily navigate which features are actually related together, right? Okay. So again, if you click the cities, no, because the cities origin, right? All right. Anyway, so after that, what you're gonna need to do is a screenshot of input parameters used to create a relationship class between cities parts. Yeah. So you need to make a screenshot of that tool. And then I'm not going to go over question 2 to 4 because this is all about how to make the geodatabase for the another feature classes. Okay. And here's the how to make relationship class between the two tables that has end-to-end cardinality relationships. Okay. So here we have a street and street lights. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add this streets and street lights, and also the link table, which is a street lights here in the canvas. So now you have. I'm gonna remove this, just not too be confused. So here we have a street lights points and street lines and the street light tables. That is a link table, and then street lights and street has the end-to-end relationships. Okay, so how to make a relationship between them? So if you check the street lights table first, okay, the street lights tables has the light ID, right? This is a unique light ID. If you go there, check one, then each point has each light ID, right? And then if you go to streets, the line feature, then this street has the far right here, there's a unique ID, right? So street lights and streets has a unique ID, but the important thing is this the relationship between them is end to end, right? So it means that several street lights are inside of one street, I mean involved in one street, and one street has several streetlights, right? Might have several streetlights. So you cannot make a relationship class directly between them. You need to have the link table, which is streetlight, right? So link table has light ID and streetlights, right? ID, right? So what you need to do is you need to make a relationship class between the streetlights and streetlights first, with 1 to m, and also you need to make a relationship class between streetlight and streets, okay, with 1 to m too, right, as well. So first you need to right click on the geodatabase and make a new relationship class between maybe streetlights and streetlights first, okay? So origin table will be street lights, okay? The street lights, because one street lights ID has a street lights and street lights has a 1 to n relationship, right? And destination table will be street lights, which is link table, okay? Okay, and you don't have to put your output relationship class and everything. Just leave everything default, and then you need to set the cardinality to 1 to n, right? Good. And then origin primary key will be the light ID from the street light feature class, and then origin foreign key of the street light will be also the same light ID. You need to type it if it doesn't slot up. Okay. After you set it like this, then just run it. So what I did is actually what is that? This, right? So because those two tables has a m-to-n relationship, we made a relationship class, first relationship class with between the two first, right? Which is 1 to m, right? Okay. And then what you need to do is you need to make another relationship class. So go to catalogs and do the same thing. So add a new relationship class, okay? You click relationship class, and the origin table should be the street, and the destination table should be street lights, which is link table, right? Yes, because it's a link table.
And the street light is the new one that we created. Street light is the new one that we created, right? From one section.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, and then okay, and then cardinality is 1 to m, right? The second relationship class. The same. And origin primary key of the street will be unique ID, which is in the far lower section here, right? And then unique ID and origin foreign key is also no, origin foreign key is a street ID. After you run it, then you made a two relationship class between the origin and link table and link and destination table, right? Then go to catalog and then check if you make it right. So refresh it, then you can see there is two relationship classes, right? So I'm gonna show you what it's well linked, associated well. So let's select some street lights maybe. So I'm gonna choose these 6 street lights first. Okay, you can just choose any street lights, and then go to data and the related data here. So we already made this relationship class between the street lights and the link table, right? And click the street lights. then we're gonna highlight the related feature, related table in the street lights, which is we have 13 street lights, right? So it means that those 6 street lights are related to this 13 street ID. But okay, so now go to street lights table. You need to check, click the street lights table in the table contents first. Okay, now, and then go to the data. The table. Go to table column and tab, and then go to related data. And then if you go to related data, then there should be streets, right? And then click the street. Sorry? Oh, in the table tab.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to select the street light table first.
It's like those street lights right there, right?
Oh, yeah, you need to choose the street light first. So if you choose the related data, then you can see which streets are actually includes those 6 street lights that we click first stage, right?
So like 6 street lights.
Anything, I just give you some example, so you can just whatever. Oh yeah. So just wait. Okay. Maybe just you can just choose. And then I want to choose. Then there should be. Then you show the tables. And then click the street lights. Then go to keyboard. Oh, here. Then go to the data. And then street to see which street goes. Right. And then you click the street. Then you see that the streets that relate to those points that show up highlight. Yeah, just overlay. Yeah, okay. Okay, now we check how relationship class works, right? Lastly, yeah, I believe that you can answer the why would a simple one-to-one relationship between street and street not suffice, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the how to make a relate then. Okay. So lastly, I'm gonna make a relate. This is just a example. So I'm gonna make the relate between park and cities. Okay. So again, we have a park and cities, and I'm gonna make a relate, add relates to park from the cities. Okay. So cities. Yeah, I'm gonna add a relates of park to the cities. So click the cities, and then here the joins and relates, right? And then you don't have to actually click the add relates because it's just example. And then you can just add relates because city is origin, so you need to start with cities to make the to add the relates. And then there should be the layer name and input relates field, which is the the primary key of the cities. And then relates table, which is destination table in the relationship class. right? So you can check the cities, and output relate field will be the name, which is the the destination. I mean foreign key. Yeah. Oh. Parts. Yeah. Sorry. Cities is a foreign key, and then relates name, which is the like same concept. The same concept of the relation plus name, but it's temporal one again, right? And then you can set up the cardinality and click OK. So if you add this relates, so everything works the same as the relationship class, but it's temporal. Okay, when you close the arc pro, then the relates will be gone. Okay, that's the difference between relates and relationship class. Okay, relationship class is made in geodatabase, so it's stored permanently, but relates are just temporarily made. Okay, so that's different. Yeah.
A table and it adds, you can export that table into the database.
Oh, I'm not sure. I never tried this, but I think there should be, right? There should be some functions there, because if you make join, that you can export the data. But I'm not sure. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know about this. I'm gonna Google after this. Okay. So, do you have a question? So I'm gonna be here, and if you have a question, just let me know. Okay. Oh, okay. Just give me a second. I'm gonna stop recording. Do you have any issue, Liam? Okay. Okay, good.
Oh, no, I just have watching photos.